with the cat ears.
Thank you.
Is it just a headband?
Yeah. They were glittery.
DIY or Die, Walker Vapor Group LLC, or any of its associates do not condone nor encourage the use of nicotine, vapor products, or any mood-altering substances without the explicit consent of a physician. The content viewable on this channel is strictly for entertainment purposes only and not meant to be seen as informational or educational. Must be 21 years or older to view these materials.
Silky beat.
Hello, welcome mixers to another episode of the MIXINVIXENS. I'm mlNikon, and we also have the wonderful Jennifer Jarvis.
Hello.
Meow. We've got RinVapes,
Hi.
and we've got Jen, TheJuiceFairy Winstead.
Hi guys.
How are you guys doing?
Doing good. A little bit excited about this week.
Yeah?
Yeah. This is my kind of flavor profile.
Yeah.
You don't look excited. You just, yeah.
Sorry, I'm sick. I'm not my normal peppy self. I enjoy this week as well. In fact, my wife just started vaping not too long ago, and she's picky as a mofo, like super, super picky. But she actually likes my mix, so it's a win for me.
Yay.
Yeah. Anybody have anything new that they've been vaping, or any new mixes they want to talk about? Or
I'm currently spamming Facebook. I forgot to put the links in before we started, so. Anybody else? What have you been up to this week, Rin?
My AC is on. Can you hear that really badly?
a little bit, but it's not too bad.
Try to move it closer to me. Anyway, it's hot as hell. That's about it. I got this thing, the BTFC Drama RDA.
Have you tried it yet?
I have. I don't know how I feel about it yet. There's like this taste in it, but I think it just maybe needs to be cleaned again. But I mean, it feels nice. So I don't know.
Oh. Is it single coil or dual?
I can show you the deck. I always do single regardless because I don't like duals. But it's definitely, I think it's dual capable. I don't know how you would do it, but I imagine you could maybe to the side. I don't know, but.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah, it's beefy for sure though. I don't like the name. I think the name's kind of janky, but.
What's the name of it?
BTFC, but it stands for bottom top flavor cloud. It just sounds like it's not real. It sounds like a troll name.
Weird.
But
I just got I broke the top cap of my Wasp Nano and ordered a new one from Fast Tech. It took almost 2 months to get here, but I just got it back. So I've been vaping my Nano again.
Well, it takes forever. Why is it that the first week after Leilani leaves us, we're all like, there's like a hole, like there's silence in the room. There's like lack of talking.
It doesn't have to be a lack of talking. We're all chatty enough, aren't we?
Yeah, I know. But it's always the first week we're like, usually when we get that quiet moment, she fills in that gap, but we just have it this week.
Yeah, we need to like relearn how to do the show without her.
Yeah, it's like, how do we pass the baton now? Which is the order now?
JJ, how was your week been going?
It was kind of rough to start out with because I tried to kill myself with my baby gate.
Oh
Ended
yeah.
up having to go to the hospital. I didn't break anything. I just severely bruised my ribs and my back and my arm. I had like you can kind of see the large bruise going on there, and
Ouch.
my son decided I wasn't coming through the gate, and me and the gate decided we're going.
Oh man.
Luckily, he didn't get hurt.
Using your drip tip on this show, so I figured I'd put mine on too.
I can't stop using it. Like I have switched out. I do occasionally use my other one and the little one, but I just love the flavor on this one.
Well, look at how much cloud I get out of this thing. I do not get this much cloud.
And that's a 510. That's not even the big hole.
Yours is 810?
Yeah.
I can't usually inhale that much vapor on a regular drip tip because I guess it gets too hot after a certain amount. But because I guess the way that the vapor is just going smoothly through there and cooling down before it hits my throat, I can like take these massive, fill up my whole house and make my alarms go off.
that is happening to me too. I set my alarm off constantly.
My husband the other day, I wait for everybody to go to bed before I get to mixing, and like it's my alone time, you know. So my husband goes to bed. He goes to work at 5 a.m. So he goes to bed early, and that's when I started vaping. Well, the other night I started vaping and mixing, and my whole living room filled out, and my fire alarm went off and woke every damn body in the house. I was in trouble.
Oops.
You probably got told stop using that.
Yeah, I had to come bring it in this room and hide it because otherwise I'd be back on a and another thing, it makes noise. It is noisy, you know, it makes the whole lovely noise of vaping. I can't vape it discreetly. There is no
vaping on this thing discreetly.
I was going to say, how are you trying to be discreet with that?
In the house? I mean, you know, not visually discreetly. I'm talking about.
I'm taking it out and I'm using it in my car, and then I take this one off and I put a different one on. I do that too. Like, I don't care if people see me driving with it. Whatever. It's just I don't want to get questions while I'm out.
When I go into a store, I take my MTLs in the stores with me because who knows if I'm going to want to hit it while I'm walking through the store. So I leave my vape inside a glove compartment in the bottom of the car. One of these days, it's going to it's not too hot. I'm never out that long. Don't do that, guys. That's not safe.
Tisk, tisk.
I know my son burned up the interior of his car with doing that.
Oh no.
Really
You're not supposed to leave batteries in your car when it's hot.
I know. But that was back before. That was with an Ego. An Ego battery did that.
Oh yeah. Those were bad because the connections with the plugs and stuff, they were all kind of shoddy when we were first getting them.
He had just started college too, so he had left it in the car in the charging with the USB port on it, and he has a Ford. So Fords, even when you turn off your car, still continue to charge whatever is on it. And it was like 110 degrees out, and he left it out there. He had gotten drunk, hung out with friends. When he came out the next morning, he had no interior. It smoldered. You know, it wasn't like it blew up or anything, but it smoldered. Like some fire must have blown out of it and burnt one of the seats and then smoldered the whole inside. It was a learning experience.
Yep. I keep telling my daughter too, it's like, don't leave your batteries or your mods or things in your car because the next thing you know, your car's going to be on fire.
And that came out as a comprehensive on me claim. Like it was my fault because reports saying don't leave batteries charging unattended.
It's the same with your phone. I mean, you shouldn't leave your phone in your car charging either.
I do it too, though. Like not charging, but if it's not too hot or too cold out, I'll leave my vape in my car.
Yeah, I don't think if it's too cold, it won't do that. What it'll do is kill your battery.
Yeah, cold drains the batteries faster. The whole myth of putting your batteries in your fridge or freezer like we used to do in the 80s. It was killing our batteries.
Yeah. And that test them with your tongue. Remember that?
Sticking a 9-volt to your tongue.
Yeah, my dad made me do that when I was a kid. I'm like, thanks, Pops.
I just pure stuck a fork in a socket one time and I never fucked with electricity again.
You know the range hoods on over your oven?
Yeah.
One of my knobs had fallen off and I didn't realize it, and I was scrubbing it with a Brillo pad. I touched it and went, I don't touch electricity stuff.
I don't
terrifying.
Either. When you do that stuff young enough, you get traumatized. You never mess with it again. I'll tell you what else I learned. And I learned this summer. And I'm almost embarrassed to say it. Do not put frozen chicken breast in hot oil.
No.
That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say. But I did have to replace the microwave over that stove.
Wow.
And run outside with that damn pan that was on fire. Running out the door with it.
Unless you have a dedicated like deep fryer to do it with, it's not a good idea.
No, if it's completely frozen solid, you still don't do that. Because when you stick it in there, the heat, it blows up. It blows up, and then the actual piece of chicken caught fire.
That's unusual because I've done that with my deep fryer and I didn't have a problem with it.
Man,
I guess you got lucky.
If that oil is
maybe your oil was too hot. That might have been.
My oil was very hot. I had it on high, and I forgot about it and came back and just threw the chicken in.
Yeah, that would do it. Because I know when I worked at McDonald's, we had frozen chicken that we put directly into the fryers, and it wasn't.
Yeah, but that was probably at 350 or
yeah, it was like somewhere between
500 degrees to 0.
Yeah, don't do that.
I got cussed out that night too. Everybody was asleep in the house when that happened, and all the alarms went off.
All right, guys, let's get back to Mixin talk. Okay. What do you guys think of this? First of all, who submitted the picture?
I think I did.
That was Jen's picture, I think.
It was. Oh, it was yours. Yeah, it was Jen's.
Okay. And then you guys wonder why I was so excited about it. I was like,
that makes sense. What? Cheater. Anyway, so what do you guys think of this picture? How did you take it? Like, how do you perceive? What did you think? This
exactly what my title for my recipe was: a unicorn pooped in my scoop.
Yeah, okay. It does look like unicorn poop.
Mine is a sherbet. Have you ever seen those sherbets that have the blue and the red? And well, this one is raspberry, blueberry, and a little bit of boysenberry.
Nice.
Sherbet.
I just wanted to do I saw it as a cotton candy ice cream.
Cotton candy ice cream. That's what everybody was saying that it looked like. And I was like, I got a surprise. I got a surprise.
What about you, Ren? How'd you take it?
I did mine with Blue Moon as like the base. And then with berries kind of mixed into it.
Cool.
I did versions with cotton candy, but it ended up muting the note I wanted to be pronounced, so I just said F it. And
yeah, cotton candy's hard, like a hard flavor to get to shine through because it mutes itself so bad. So who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Me.
Okay.
I never I don't really volunteer much. Anyway, so that's what I went with. I went with Blue Moon as a base. If you're not familiar with what it is, because I guess it's only available in certain areas or it's more predominant in certain areas, it's obviously a blue ice cream. The way that it tastes, I guess, depends on where you get it from, but essentially the general consensus is it's kind of like a blue raspberry with like a hint of vanilla and a little bit of almond, and I think a little bit of lemon. So it's kind of weird. Some people say it's literally just blue ice cream, like it's vanilla ice cream just with blue flavoring in it. I don't agree because I taste something in there, but I mean, it's pretty mild as like a general flavor, but I like it quite a lot. So what I did is I just searched like how to make Blue Moon ice cream from scratch. essentially, it's just like, your cream base, and then, like I said, vanilla, a little bit of almond, lemon, and raspberry. So I literally did about 15 to 20 versions of this. Like, it's pretty crazy. But I found one version I liked the most, and then I kind of just tweaked it until I got it where I wanted it. I used Cotton Candy and Marshmallow by Flavora quite a lot, but while it was good, it kept muting the raspberry, which I really wanted it to pop. So I ended up just doing away with it. So for my ice cream base, since I'm not really a huge fan of ice cream bases in general, I kind of just built my own using Flavora cream and Flavora milk, which actually worked pretty well. And then I used marzipan for that hint of almond. Some people get cherry notes from marzipan. I personally don't. So I guess that could just be up to your preference or palate or whatever. It also helps to sweeten it a little bit. And then I used Blackberry Raspberry by Inawera, which is a great flavor. It gave me the raspberry I wanted, and then a little touch of blackberry, which was nice because if you look at the picture, there is something purple in there, and it kind of took care of the purple for me. And then the lemon Sicily just kind of goes hand in hand with the recipe for the Blue Moon, which has lemon in it, and lemon does enhance berries. So it's just there to kind of enhance that and give it a more authentic flavor. So what I get when I vape this is, like, first off, I get Blue Moon, and then like a hint of the blackberry raspberry, like on the back end. I actually quite like this one a bit. Obviously, you might have to adjust the percentages because my percentages, as always, are low, but I do like it. And it's not super sweet. Like, it's sweet, but it's not crazy sweet. So I like it quite a lot.
I love that you used Inawera Blackberry Raspberry. That's such an underrated flavor, and it's so good.
Yeah, it is quite nice. I started with 0.3, and it just kept getting buried by like the creams and whatnot, so I did have to bump it up a little bit. It's still not high, but it's high for me. But it's a great flavor. It's really nice. It's definitely got the raspberry in it, but it has like that little bit of blackberry in it. It's just a really good flavor. And I wanted to throw it in there.
Nice. So, Rin, question for you. What made you decide to use Inawera marzipan over Flavor Art?
I don't like Flavor Art's version.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about the Flavor Art version, but similar to the meringue, there's just something in it that I don't like. Like, anytime I have like a Flavor Art meringue that's in a recipe, I always sub it for TFA because I don't like it.
Is it Inawera that you get more of a cherry note from? Does that affect that?
Like I said, I don't get cherry from it at all.
I find Inawera tastes more like almond. It's a stronger almond, less cherry.
Inawera tastes more like almond.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I have to go back and taste because I think that I've always set it aside because I could FA.
Yeah, I confused the two, so
I can use FA almond. I can, instead of using Inawera marzipan, I can use FA almond. So that's what makes me think it has less cherry notes. In the past, that's what I've done when I've subbed it. If I don't have FA almond, I use Inawera instead of FA marzipan. But this looks really good to me.
Yeah, I mean, I like it quite a lot. Why am I?
I will probably bump the percentages a little bit for myself. But I haven't tried that blackberry raspberry, so I mean, I'm going to try it as is at first and then bump it if I need to. What do you find in the Italian lemon Sicily from Cap? Is it sweeter than the Flavor Art as well?
I use Capella's because it tends to. Why am I echoing?
I think I was echoing too. Yeah, there's an echo. Yeah.
Can you? Yeah. Yeah, it stopped. It's got to be hers. I use Capella's version because it tends to hang around a little bit more for me. Like lemons tend to fade. It also kind of smooths things out. It's like a more smooth than like a sharp lemon for me personally. So I just threw that in there. I mean, it's at such a low amount. It's not really doing much as far as flavor, but it's just kind of making it pop a little bit. The berry.
Yeah, I really like the taste of FA, but it does fade a lot more than Capella's.
Yeah. So that's why. I mean, it's mainly just preference. Like the black.
I haven't used Flavor's milk very much. What are your thoughts on that as far as sour notes from it?
This is the first time I've used it. I forget who was talking. I think it was Leilani that was talking about it on Fresh's show, how she's kind of just started throwing flavors that she hasn't single flavor tested into things just to see how they work. Because honestly, like I have so many flavors at this point that I don't know that I'm ever going to get around to doing every single one. It's just overwhelming. So I've been just kind of throwing them in just to see how they work and just hoping for the best. And I don't get any sour notes from milk, and I'm very sensitive to milks. Like if I were to have to use a milk flavor, it's usually the one-on-one with cream milk undertone or whatever. That's kind of my go-to milk. But Flavor's is nice. I don't get a sourness to it. It just made the cream a little bit more like an ice cream, like more, I guess, not watered down, but
it's milky. Like
yeah.
The way ice cream should be, not with Carrageenan gum in it.
I don't have much experience with Flavor milk. I think I've only single flavor tested it once, but I've been really digging FA milk.
Yeah, that one's also decent, but I think that one you can only get from certain places because doesn't that have like the Dyke tones and whatnot in it?
Yeah, you can't get it in North America.
Yeah, I was trying to go for things that are a little bit more accessible. Like I think you can get everything from Bull City that I used. Just as an example of like where to get these things from.
Bull City.
Right. We actually have a coupon code for BCF. You can find it in our description, hopefully. If not, we'll put it on the comments over there. But yeah, I mean, they're accessible. I try not to go, because I mean, there's other flavors I could use in these profiles, because I have pretty obscure ones, thanks to Leilani. I try not to use them because I know that people aren't going to want to get them. Like, Dumai, for example, like you can only get them from the manufacturer directly. Like you can't find them anywhere. You have to dilute them, and people aren't probably going to want to do all that. So,
yeah, true. No, this is perfect. This looks really good, and I'm gonna have to mix this up because it looks yummy. Thank you.
Yeah, I like it. And if you do mix any of my recipes, our viewing audience, please comment and just kind of give me feedback, like even if it's bad, like I can't taste this, why is this so low, like whatever, like just something would be nice. Thank you. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Winks her eyes and says, who's that?
All right.
When we get
am I still sounding like I have an echo?
We're not getting an echo.
No.
Anymore.
But now your mouth is lagging behind your words. Or your words are lagging behind your mouth. You're kind of going Kung Fu Fighter movie on us. All righty, I think mine's up here.
Technology.
For mine, I went, I will put it public. I just haven't gotten that far yet. Raspberry, like blue raspberry with some cotton candy and just some general fruity flavors in the ice cream. I thought, unicorn poop ice cream. So I just kind of went with the colors, and I like Liquid Barnes Blue Raspberry because it has more of a, it's like a raspberry, but it's more seedy raspberry, and it has less of the blueness. Because I didn't want a ton of blue, but I wanted just a little bit of blueness. And then the cotton candy brings in a little bit more blue, kind of makes you think, blue raspberry cotton candy. And then forest fruit, I actually went quite a bit higher with forest fruit than I normally do. But that was because I wanted it to really cut through the ice cream flavors, but kind of blend in with it. And I just did a simple flavor art ice cream with flavor of vanilla pudding. And that makes my ice cream base and a little bit of sweetness. If you don't have flavor sweetener, use sucralose at like 0.75%. Whichever Flavor West sweetener or Capella's super sweet, I'd probably only use 0.25% of. If you don't have Flavor Art vanilla ice cream yet, you could probably sub it out for either TFA's or Liquid Barnes vanilla ice cream. I would bump those up a little bit more. If you're not using Flavor Arts, I'd bump that up to like 3% or 3.5% blended with the Flavor pudding. Should give you a good enough ice cream base. And if you want it cold, add some WS23, which I put in the comments.
Awesome.
It came out quite nice. It's very berry forward, and so you will get a lot of berry, but it's smooth with the ice cream.
I like how you use the Cotton Candy Circus with the Liquid Barn Blue Raspberry, because they have both of those have like a really good blue raspberry flavor to me, and then you got that extra like sugar or cotton candy type.
I see Circus Cotton Candy doesn't have any blue raspberry to me. That's just like straight ethyl maltol kind of stuff. The regular cotton candy has more of a fruity note to it.
Really?
I think so. I think that, or unless I did it backwards, I may have entered in the wrong cotton candy on there. I'll have to double check.
To me, the Circus is what has the blue raspberry, and the regular is just EM. Regular is just
real quick.
EM.
I agree. The Circus is what I tend to taste. All the blue raspberry in it, and the regular cotton candy tastes like just EM. Period.
I may have entered the wrong one in. I know I used the one that was just regular cotton. That was cotton candy flavored, not berry cotton candy. I'm just looking it up real quick here to see which one was which.
And one thing I love about forest fruits, it's not used enough. It's a great flavor, but it's so versatile. You can use it really low or really high, and it's a really good flavor to add a generic kind of berryness to your mix.
Yeah, I did enter the wrong one. I will fix that. It is supposed to be the regular cotton candy on there, not the Circus one. I was spacey this morning. Don't mind me. So use the regular cotton candy from TFA.
Well, that's okay, because on my recipe, I actually, should I go?
Yeah, you can go.
We have more questions.
Unless anyone
has
questions.
Any questions from the chat? So delicious. No, I don't see any. They're jibber jabbering amongst themselves.
Am I still echoing?
Yeah, I still hear an echo.
It's probably me, guys, because I'm the one with new equipment today.
Do you have headphones?
Not without a mic. So then when I put the headphones.
Hello. Oh, dang it. I wanted to echo.
Oh, you
have fun with it. Hello.
At least have fun with it.
Hello. Saying, TheJuiceFairy should put headphones in.
I heard him say that.
Okay.
I saw.
I didn't know if you were reading the chat or not.
Can you do like a charades or something, Jen? That's an ADD charade.
ADD charade. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and check. Do I sound like I have an echo when I speak?
You're the only one.
Or is it just when you guys talk back to me? Okay, well, I'll just mute myself when you guys are talking, and that way you guys don't hear yourselves echoing.
Okay.
So let me pull up mine, and we'll go over it because mine is really good. It comes through after about 2 days. I did a blue raspberry sherbet type on my recipe, and I called it unicorn sherbet. So I use blueberry from Flavor West because it's the most candied blueberry, and I mixed it with TFA sweet raspberry because that to me is both those flavors are really vibrant, sweet, and candy like, and I wanted it to be sherbet sweetness, like almost too sweet for your mouth without having to add a whole bunch of sweetener. I use boysenberry from Flavora because if you look at the picture, there's blue, there's a little bit of purple, and there's pink. So there's another berry in there, and I chose to make that boysenberry. But I used it really low because I didn't want it to take over the mix. I wanted to just kind of get hints of a darker blueberry. Actually, all it did really was darken my blueberry a little bit, but it still kept the candy profile in there. Lemon lime from Cap at 1.5 because lemon lime is what finishes off what needs when you need a sherbet. That's what brings you that that sour note that you find in sherbets. That is, you know, it's usually citric acid, or sometimes they use lemon, like the white part of a sherbet is usually lemon, but lemon lime is perfect for it. So I use that at 1.5. And then for my creams, I had a mental debate. So I know that the flavors I used them high enough, like using the blueberry Flavor West at 5% and TFA raspberry sweet at 4%. Those are really at their max when you're combining with other flavors. And then I threw on top of that some lemon lime, which is another powerful flavor. I knew that I needed a cream that was going to knock it down a little bit. So I debated between using TFA Bavarian cream because that has emulsifying properties, or just going with the TFA Vanilla Swirl. I chose the Vanilla Swirl because it has stronger vanilla notes in it, and I wasn't too sure, and I didn't have a lot of faith in the vanilla, in the Bavarian cream not killing my flavor because I made quite a few. And I think that I was afraid that the vanilla Bavarian cream would mute out my berries a little bit too much or muddle them up. So I used a vanilla swirl, and then I backed it up with a little bit of vanilla shisha just to give it additional vanilla notes. This recipe on day 1 is pretty decent. However, all those crazy off notes that you would imagine you would get from blueberry from Flavor West and TFA raspberry sweet are definitely there. And then you throw in that lime, that lemon lime on top of that. So you definitely feel too much separation, and you'll have some off notes that'll kind of tingles in the back of my nose. Other people might not pick it up. I did. With an overnight steep, it gets really good. And at 3 days, it's fantastic. It doesn't mute out. It didn't, it's lasted the test of time, so it didn't mute on itself, and it didn't tone down too much. The vanilla does come forward a little bit more with time. It does get a little creamier, but you can still distinctly taste all 3 flavors. It's really sweet, it's really candy-like, and it is a sherbet. It might have could have used a little more lemon lime, but I'm also afraid with a little more lemon lime, you'd have had too much of a twang in it, and it might have still muddied it. I just wanted that little bit of citric in there. That's it. That's my recipe. It's probably the least amount of ingredients I've used. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm under 9. What do you guys think? Any questions?
Mary Beth had a question in the chat. About what candy roll does to the recipe.
Yeah, I forgot to mention the candy roll. Candy roll is my sugar. Candy roll plays with the lemon lime. It has some citric notes in it, and it's a candy, so it's kind of like a hard candy. And together with the lemon lime, lemons and limes tend to fade, but with the candy roll, it was able to keep it together. Now, it's not an absolute necessary flavor to use in the recipe, but it is definitely important to have it in there if you want for the lifetime of the recipe to last, because of the lemons fading and the lemon lime fading a little bit in the background. The candy roll helps that not happen.
I bet the boysenberry blueberry with all that vanilla in there just combined like really great. It has a nice fruity yet kind of not darker, but you know, vanilla-esque taste to it. It looks good. It looks good.
Actually, the vanilla is so mild in it that the vanilla does not. The vanilla adds a cream note. It softens all the edges. Yes, you get. Hold on, let me try it again so I can describe it as I do it. It almost. I think that the malto in these vanillas mixed with these fruits simply gave it that ice cream note. Now, I did use some Polar Blast in one of my. I don't actually put Polar Blast in my mix. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I named it Mixins episode 27, 3 milligrams, because we make too much stuff. I didn't have a name for it yet when I made it. So it's just episode 27. And I don't put the Polar Blast in there, but when I want some, I'll drop a drop inside my tank, and I call it tank juice just to cool it down. And it worked really well. But the vanilla notes, let me check. All it adds is softness. And it strengthens the flavor. It makes it creamy. It's really good. I really like it. Okay, that's it. I'm done. Next.
I guess I'm next. I'm the only one left. So I am not unique or creative names. So I just named mine mlNikon's cotton candy ice cream. And so a few weeks ago, my niece was visiting. She's 5. And we had gotten cotton candy flavored ice cream. It was the first time I ever had cotton candy ice cream, and it was delicious, and I love cotton candy. So I wanted to go after that profile and really taste the cotton candy. And as we all know, that's really hard to do because cotton candy, at least as far as synthetic flavors go, is just EM. Like, it's basically just, you know, EM. So what I did was I did 1% FA blenderizer or Tutti Frutti, which I'll get to that in a second. 4% Capella Blue Raspberry Cotton Candy. It's very similar to TFA Cotton Candy Circus. So if you have TFA, you don't need to go out and buy Capella for this. Like, Capella's Blue Raspberry Cotton Candy is a little bit cleaner, I guess, of a flavor, but they're very similar. And then my ice cream is 2% FA cream fresh. It's just a simple, just kind of straightforward, just dairy note. And then, thanks to Graham's suggestion, he helped me out a little bit. I actually went with 1.5% one-on-one powdered sugar for more of that sugar cotton candy flavor. And then 0.75% Capella Super Sweet, because, I mean, it's cotton candy ice cream is like just sugar. It's sweet. If you don't have one-on-one powdered sugar and you're not going to, I mean, for one thing, I think you should get it. Not because for this recipe, because it's a good flavor, but if it's something you don't think you're going to be getting in the near future, and you happen to have Flavora cotton candy, you can sub those out 1-to-1, and the taste is of the mix is very similar. Now, what FA blenderizer is, or Tutti Frutti, is I've seen it described as like juicy fruit, or some people describe it as like a gumball, and it just used that low. That's pretty low for this flavor. I've seen it like 2-3%, but I just wanted a hint of just a generic kind of fruity, gummy flavor to it. It's instead of like just cotton candy, I wanted it needed a little extra kind of dimension. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean.
That actually looks for that flavor.
Sorry, it takes a minute to unmute. You know what I mean? My AC is going full blast every 5 seconds because it's like 90 degrees here. Probably even hotter up here without the air on. I wonder why they call it blender ice. It's kind of a weird name.
Yeah.
Do you find that Tutti Frutti tastes like bubble gum when you first vape it, and then as it steeps, it turns into like a banana-y kind of, I don't know, smooth, soft with a weird fruity note to it at the end after it steeps, like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't get too much. I don't get much banana from it. Although my sample isn't 2 weeks old yet, so maybe. But it does at least fresh. It's more of this is like bubble gum, and then I am noticing that the gum note is softening a bit, and it is kind of becoming a generic fruitiness, which it works for this.
Yeah.
You know. So,
yeah, I didn't even think of using Tutti Frutti. I always forget about that. I've got a big bottle of it too.
Yeah, it's an underused flavor. I mean, it's really good. I think I only got it because who's the guy who kept trying to come up with the Sure clone on Reddit, and he did like 5 versions.
Mm-hmm.
One of his versions he used Tutti Frutti, so I bought the flavor just for that. He then made another remix since then, but I really like the flavor and don't use it hardly at all. So I thought, this needs something. And I don't want it to be like a specific fruit because cotton candy ice cream is just, is just a sugary kind of generic fruity thing. So I'm like, this works really perfect for it.
Yeah, you will find it'll soften, and you may get some of the banana notes, but they may not even be obvious in something like this.
The banana notes maybe just kind of blend in the background with that cream fresh to add the creaminess, right?
And it's super soft. It's not like a harsh banana. Mm-hmm. It's just a soft kind of, it's almost like a smooth, creamy banana note that it has after it steeps, but the bubble gum seems to almost disappear after it fully steeps out. So you may not get quite as much bubble gum. If you need more, just toss a little flavor of bubble gum in there. Now keep the nice soft bubble gum note to it.
I use Tutti Frutti like you use Oba Oba, Jen, where I use it to candy up something that needs a little bit of a candy note, but an undescribable.
Your sound is so wonky tonight. One of us always has to have technical issues. I rebooted my computer first thing this morning. Like, I need to refresh my Windows because nothing works. And now my good camera works. I'm happy about that. I didn't have to buy a new one. But I like this. This one looks really good. I want to try something with a bubblegum flavor kind of ice cream. I think that'll be yummy.
Yeah, well, at first I was going to do bubblegum. Like, because I kept hearing people say it's cotton candy ice cream or bubblegum ice cream. And I'm like, oh, bubblegum ice cream sounds good. But then I just thought, you know what? Like, there's not many like cotton candy flavored profiles and mixes out there, right? So I thought I wanted to do something different and try to make it taste like a cotton candy ice cream.
I like the use of powdered sugar too. I haven't used powdered sugar in an ice cream yet.
Well, and I only have used powdered sugar like on bakeries for like a powdered sugar and
or frosting. Yeah.
One night, yeah, or the frosting, like and then Graham and I were talking one night, and he said something about getting a burnt cotton candy note from 101 powdered sugar, and then it's got that grittiness that like cotton candy has, when it dissolves in your mouth. I'm like, oh, that's awesome! I'm gonna try it. So one of my versions I use Flavor cotton candy, the other version I use 101 powdered sugar, and they both were great. Like that's why I said you can use either one, but the 101 powdered sugar just had just a little added authenticity, I guess, that I like better.
I I almost used that one-on-one.
Yeah, I used Flavora's cotton candy and the marshmallow in a lot of my versions, and I liked it. It's just I don't use sweeteners, so I don't like my juice to be that sweet. Plus, I think it's because I use high VG that it's just going to be inherently sweet anyway. So that's why I omitted it from mine. Plus, it kind of buried my berry, and I didn't want that to happen. So.
Yeah, similar with mine. If you mix it and the berry seems to disappear for you, it's probably because I'm sensitive to forest fruit, and you might need to bump it up to like 2%, 2.5%. It's possible. Mine is kind of mixed though for the average vapor, so it should work in a tank. It should work in an RDA. And my daughter tried it; she liked it, so we're good with that. Normal person taste buds.
How's this for sound?
Better. We're not echoing now.
Cool.
Yeah, it sounds better. You're louder and we're not echoing. It's great.
Now Rin can complain because look.
Yeah, that's all right.
She can hear that.
It wasn't bad though. Compared to the white one picks up a lot.
Okay, good to know. It's an iPhone headphone, so I'm sure it's supposed to pick up like the sound of the dead.
Yes.
The background white noise.
So did anybody find any trouble with mixing this week's? Or did it all seem to just kind of work for you? I know Rin did a bunch of them, but.
Well, I was being very nitpicky. And I don't know. I think anything with ethyl maltol I'm really sensitive to, and I start to not be able to taste it. And I was afraid that other people would have the same experience because it would taste really great. And then all of a sudden, all I tasted was sweet. I was like, crap. Like, I don't know if this is just me or if other people are going to have it. So
that was my problem when I first mixed. I did a few versions. When I first mixed them fresh, they tasted like nothing. Like right fresh, it was just sweetness. I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like this is gonna be a throwaway week. Like I can't make any of this work. And then like probably after the third day or even the second day, the flavors just came through, and it was just like boom, cotton candy. I'm like, oh wow, okay, this is actually pretty good. So if you mix
mine did that the opposite. Mine came out like everything is in your face on day one, and then everything kind of blended into that swirly ice cream where it's different notes when you take that bite.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting what to happen with mine to happen because normally it is kind of the opposite with certain things, you know, where it's like in your face and then it mellows and blends, where mine was mellow and then they showed up. But whatever.
Yeah, whatever works, right?
Yeah.
Nice surprise.
Yeah.
You didn't have to go back to the mixing table.
Yeah, because I was seriously bummed. I'm like, I can't mix anything. Nothing's tasting good.
That's how I felt about like all of last month. Like I was like, I don't really like any of these that much. I don't know. For me, it's like I have to have like a very clear plan that I'm trying to attempt. Like the good mixes that I've made so far, like I had a very clear idea of what I wanted. Like the passion tea, I knew that's what I wanted. The blue moon, like I wanted blue moon. Like there's really not much out there that tastes like blue moon. Like Real Flavors has one, but you do have to add a little to it. It's not just straight up, not for me anyway. So I wanted to make something that was that. And plus it's like kind of local to my area. Like it's like a Midwest-ish, whatever you would consider Ohio. It's kind of in the middle. But it's like our area is like very heavy on the blue moon. So I don't know. That's why I made so many versions of it.
And I wouldn't have even known what to make for a blue moon. I've never had one. So I would have had to go on a mission to try to find out what that was.
Yeah, I feel a little cheated. I'm from Ohio and I've never had blue moon ice cream.
I've had blue moon beer.
My family.
Yeah, it's nothing like the beer.
No, it's nothing like the beer.
It's really hard to describe. I really like it. It's honestly one of my favorite ice creams, but I don't know. It's really hard to describe. It's just, it's Blue Moon. You can't. I don't know.
How was your mix, authentic wise, to the Blue Moon ice cream?
It was very authentic. The only thing that changes it up a little is the addition of the blackberry raspberry, but I wanted it to be, because I mean Blue Moon is kind of a basic bitch flavor, so I didn't want it to just be straight Blue Moon. Plus, I mean, if you look at the picture, there's more going on than just the blue. Like there's the swirls of stuff in it, and I really wanted the granulated sugar on top, but I didn't really have anything that did that. I tried it, it didn't work. I don't have that one flavor that people are claiming is kind of like that VT, the vape train sugarcane or whatever it is. That's kind of, I guess, similar. I don't have that flavor, so obviously can't use it. And I found out too late to use it. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty, it's like I said, it's Blue Moon up front, and then it kind of has the back end of like the berry note in it. So,
well, the good news is I have all of those flavors, and I can make your recipe, so I'll know what Blue Moon tastes like.
Yay! Yeah, I was happy with the way it came out.
Yeah, they all look fantastic.
I think we had a good week this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all like candy. We didn't have to go fruit all the way. Well, I mean, come on, look at us. We like candy. So I mean, we were able to go.
And...
Yes. I use not a single flavor in my mix is something that is, you know, got any kind of, oh, this is good for you. It's low in sugar. It doesn't have any of the bad stuff in it. All these are like, this is just some good shit. Let's mix it.
Sugar, and some more sugar.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said sugar, and some more sugar.
Yeah. And give me more. Only thing is, I'm afraid that I'll go flavor blind because it is so sweet. It is such a candy vape. All of these are very candy vapes that I'm afraid I'll go. So I don't vape it for long. I got the 2 tanks and I'm switching because I forgot to bring my other damn mod in here when I came in here. So I'm having to go back and forth.
That's definitely one thing I've noticed with mine, and I'm sure you guys do, is that I can't make the same thing for too long because it mutes out, and I don't taste anything after a while. But those, like the first few puffs and like the first little while with it is delicious, but it's not one of those flavors that you can just throw in a tank and vape all day.
Yeah, generally tobaccos are my all day. Although right now I'm vaping tobacco with like forest fruit and some other fruits in it, so I didn't go very far this week. I just put tobacco in there instead of creams.
Yeah, I don't think this one goes with tobacco, but what is that commercial juice that is raspberry and blueberry with that is kind of purplish? What's the name of that one?
Ghostberry?
Yeah, this is like a creamy ghostberry.
Yeah, I can see that.
Creamy ghostberry sherbet.
Oh, you would have had to use
if anybody has had that, make this. It's pretty good.
Because we know Loran's blueberry is the main blueberry in that flavor juice.
And I think it's also Loran raspberry.
Yeah.
I think it's those two. And then I think it's lemon.
I don't think I've ever had Loran blueberry or raspberry. Are they like candied, kind of like Loran's watermelon is?
Yeah.
Yeah. The blueberry is actually blue. I have a bottle in here somewhere. Like, the color is actually blue, which is why I don't use it very much.
Bull City Flavors has it in clear now.
Ah, that's good.
How does it compare to like Hanks and blueberry? Is it close?
No.
No, not even.
It's closer to Flavor West than anything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Flavor West, and I'm trying to think. Molenberry blueberry is closer to. But Molenberry blueberry is actually really good if you're looking for a blueberry that's similar to, like somewhere between Loran's blueberry and TFA's wild blueberry. It's like in between those two. So it's not quite candy-ish, but it's not as weak as wild blueberry, and it has more of that wild blueberry flavor. It's really good. That was one I've been using off and on. I ended up getting like 5 10 ml bottles because that's all they had.
Pretty good. And I'm usually a blueberry mute. You know how there's strawberry mutes out there? Well, I'm a blueberry. I can't taste blueberries. I can for a little while, and then it's gone. And when I say a little while, I mean like half a tank. Period. That's it. And then it's gone for 2 or 3 days, unless I mix it with raspberry, because then my brain isn't understanding, is this blueberry or is this raspberry? Is this blueberry or is this raspberry? And then it comes and goes in my vape as well, so I'm able to enjoy it longer, because sometimes it tastes like blueberry and raspberry, and sometimes it only tastes like raspberries.
Yeah, mine's about 30 mils. I can go through about 30 mils worth of blueberry something, and then I can't taste it, and I gotta stop for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and it's a long time before I can taste it again.
Yeah.
And my thing with blueberry is it's hard to make it not perfume, because if you're not careful, it can be real fast.
It can be. That's why I will use TFA's wild blueberry a lot, and I bump that up to like 5% when I can't taste it.
I've actually never tried that flavor.
It's good, but it's light. I mean, it is close to actual wild blueberries.
Yeah, like, you see, and you say that, but to me, TFA. But remember, I am handicapped in the blueberry range. So to me, the TFA Blueberry Wild is sour. If I use it over 3 to 4%, the blueberry kind of fades, and there's a sour note that I can't describe. It'll go better with a blackberry than with a raspberry. So I tend to use it as a backup to. Flavor West is the only blueberry, and it's because it's a candy blueberry that I can taste, and I back it up with Blueberry Wild and sometimes Blueberry Extra, depending on which of the two, whether I want it to be have some more green notes, because the Wild does have more green notes, or do I want it to have more of the deeper notes? Both of them I go blind to fast, but the Flavor West is always got to be my main note if I want to taste it.
See, normally when I do blueberry, it's either with like a custard or a bakery. So I'll do a whole bunch of Flavor West blueberry with a little bit of Flavora blueberry muffin, and then a touch of bilberry. That's kind of my go-to blueberry combination.
That's your three.
Muffin, there's no muffin in it. It's just a good, delicious baked blueberry flavor.
I'm going to have to mix that up again. I've used it before trying to find the mother of all blueberries, and I couldn't find her, so I put it back away and haven't touched it again. This is the first time I've messed with blueberries in a while. I was excited because I've been a while, so I knew I was going to be able to taste it.
Whenever I buy new stuff from a line I haven't had yet, I always get strawberry, blueberry, peach, and what's the other one I usually get? Raspberry. I get those as to see what the line actually is like, because if they can get something close to being usable of those flavors, then I might buy the rest of the line.
Yeah, I do the same. I usually buy strawberry, blueberry. I buy one of their vanillas.
Yep.
And a lemon, because lemon always fades. So I want to know if they can get a lemon right. That's it. I usually go for 4. All the ones I can't, that go away for me.
And then
watermelon. I always get watermelon too. I have every single watermelon ever made.
It's like, is it real or is it candy?
Yeah.
Sometimes you want candy. Sometimes you want real watermelon. It just depends on.
I quit vaping on watermelon, and I've been hunting it ever since.
Mullenberry big watermelon. Do it.
I have that one. It's kind of candy-ish to me.
Yeah, it's kind of candy-ish, but it's not as candied as like Loran's.
No.
And it sticks around. You know, like it's not as fragile.
I haven't bought anything from that line, so yeah, when I pick it up for sure, I'll have the watermelon.
101's watermelon is also really good in bubblegum flavors, because it's candy. It's got that powdery candy kind of note to it.
See, the watermelon I quit with, I bet you, I don't even know, I bet you that it was a cantaloupe and not a watermelon. And I always thought it was watermelon because I've been hunting watermelon and I've gotten closer with cantaloupe than I have with watermelon.
A lot of times they'll use cantaloupe just for the body, you know, like to fill it out.
Me. And back then I didn't know any better.
And you know, I don't know if any of you used Wonder Flavors sour watermelon candy. It is just that. Like it's a candy, very candy watermelon, but it's pretty tasty.
I tried it and it completely muted. I couldn't taste it. I guess I was looking for the sour note and I didn't find it. So I was very highly disappointed.
There's nothing really sour about it, but it's a little tart. Like it's a little, you know.
You got to add your own sour to it.
So what is next week's profile?
Ooh, yeah. James, you should show next week's profile. It looks interesting. Looks good. It'll be fun to do. It's no, he says it's up. There it is. Okay, so from this angle, Rin, stop. It looks like pineapple in a glass of milk, but
it could be.
It could be pineapple, but if you, I guess, it's slightly banana slices as well, with maybe, is that cinnamon maybe on top?
Or even fried plantain slices.
Yeah. Fried plantain.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Koppel keeps trying to get someone to make a fried plantain flavor, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that one. It's a cream. We're coming towards the fall. I wonder what those spices are on the top.
Maybe spiced eggnog.
Yeah, it's sitting on like a chocolate coaster.
So that means that it's got to taste like it walked past some chocolate?
Maybe. Or that could just be the accent to the drink. You know, the drink maybe doesn't have to have any chocolate to it. But it just will taste good with a chocolate coaster.
We have all week to figure it out, don't we?
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not putting chocolate in anything.
Huh?
I'm not putting chocolate in anything.
I know, but we got that. We got that white chocolate. What is that? That white chocolate stuff that you sent me?
The vanilla. Yeah. The
vanilla. Yeah. It is vanilla. It's not chocolate, right?
The vanilla fudge. Yeah. The only chocolate I like now is the Flavor new donut chocolate. Donut, and it's a really good chocolate, but it's not going to fit that profile there
because it adds too much grain.
I think I'm going to focus on the cup and the spices because that's what I'd actually be drinking out of that.
What do you think it is, Rin? Rin got quiet on us again. She's chatting over there on chat.
My air keeps kicking on. I have to stay muted. I've done a couple versions already and wasn't happy with any of them, so I guess we'll see.
Well, Dave, we're not supposed to be looking to see what it actually is. We're just supposed to look at the picture and say, ooh, this is what I want to mix.
Yeah, the pictures are to inspire us. We don't want to know what the actual name is. We want to surprise you next week. Nobody knows what we think that picture is.
Exactly. And you're all expecting whatever the picture's going to be, and it might not be.
Yeah. Just like this week, we had some cotton candy, we had some blue raspberry, we had some blue moon, we had... What was yours?
With berries?
Jen?
Oh, mine was just a blue raspberry cotton candy kind of ice cream.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I think me and Rin went along the same lines, and Emily and Jen went along the same
lines. I may mix up a pineapple smoothie with brown sugar crystals. Who knows?
I may make coconut eggnog with spice.
And I might make some horchata.
Yeah. Who knows?
Stay tuned.
Banana horchata sounds kind of fun.
So I think we're getting to the end here, ladies. Should we thank our sponsors?
Yes, thank you, E-cig Express, for helping us out with hooking us up with the winners, and Flavora, and thank you for Bowl City, and all the flavors for helping us with our membership.
And thank you, all you beautiful people, because without you, we wouldn't be doing this.
That's absolutely right. And thank you for watching. You know what amazes me? We've had consistently, during this particular episode, we had almost everybody here the entire time. We've only lost 2 in the last 15 minutes, and I guess because they knew we were leaving or because we're over our minutes. Not sure.
So you guys rock for staying with us the whole time.
Coming every week. Thank you. Thank you for joining us every week.
Hit like, bring some friends, watch us, let them know these awesome recipes, and if you mix anything that we've made, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of it. Hey guys, I threw you guys an under 8 ingredient recipe this week. You can mix my stuff this time.
Yeah, hashtag MIXINVIXENS on your recipe so we can see it. And hit subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 1,000. We can do it.
That's right. Bring a friend.
Bye.
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 Happy Labor Day.